This is going to be our floor press, and before Janelle demos this, a couple of things. One of the reasons why we like the floor press is that it doesn't allow as much range of motion for the shoulder and the arm as if we were doing this on a bench where we actually have room to go back, because on the floor the elbow hits the floor, you're not going any further. And that can be a really nice thing for a handful of reasons. First of all, if we are trying to build strength in the chest, not all of us have the full range of motion and the full connection in the pec to be able to come pretty far back. The floor press actually truncates that range of motion in a way that is often very helpful. The second thing is, a lot of people will tend to bounce out of the bottom of the range of motion on a bench press. Well, the floor isn't going to let you bounce. And so even the rubber floor is hard enough that your elbow's gonna hit it and it's not gonna feel very good. And so it trains us to actually build the strength and build the acceleration through that shorter range of motion, which is in some ways harder. And then the last reason to use the floor press is actually simply that we can change the foot position in various ways to find more stability. So Janelle's gonna do her floor presses today with the knees bent and the feet planted, which is a really good way for her to get her abs to work. And then I'm going to give you guys another version of this after we demo the basic version. Again, we could do this one with either 1 or 2 dumbbells. A double dumbbell version certainly makes things a little bit more efficient, but we'll show a couple of variations there too. So come on your back, knees are bent, feet are planted. Janelle's going to create just a little bit of ab strength, creating a slight connection low back to the ground. Go ahead and bring your dumbbells up. And these are light enough that Janelle can just muscle them up off the ground. Sometimes you may actually need to grab them before you roll back so that they come here. You'll notice too that Janelle's forearms are vertical. Part of the challenge for her today is going to be to keep that true. So why don't we just go for four presses to start with. Just go for 4. Great. Janelle's elbows are at about a 45-degree angle. She's in boards just a little bit, but her shoulder likes that position, so we let it go. Again, she's not quite coming to full extension. I'm going to actually challenge you to go all the way to straight arms on these. Great. And go ahead and relax. So that's our basic version of the floor press. It should be working through the chest. We don't want it to sit up on the upper shoulder. So version 2, we're just going to bring the abs into this with a little bit more engagement. Grab your dumbbells, come on your back, be ready to press. And then Janelle's going to bring her knees up to a 90-degree angle, like we would for a dead bug. This is basically our dead bug-based position. And why don't you go for 4 presses. We have a rule of thumb at Wasatch Fitness Academy. If you can make something harder by using your abs, you should probably do it. It's probably the right thing to do. Go ahead and come down, relax. Bring your feet down too. So version 1, flat on the ground with the knees bent, feet planted. Version 2, knees up at 90 degrees. Version 3, we're going to be taking this towards hollow hold. So let's bring dumbbells back up for me. And this time Janelle's going to straighten her legs, but she's going to bring them out to about 45 degrees, reaching towards my hands. Great. Janelle has a really good brain muscle connection, so she knows when her abs are working, and she is working really hard. Her breathing rate has just increased a little bit, so I know she's doing it right. Let's go for 4 presses. And in your program, there may be a version of this that is called for, but remember that this is a simple way of making light weights feel heavy, which is never a bad thing. I mean, she's doing 4 reps with 15 pounds. I know she's a lot stronger than that, but this leg engagement takes a lot of effort. Go ahead and relax everything down, and go ahead and bring the dumbbells down. Now there's 2 more versions of the pressing that we can do. This has been a bilateral press, bi meaning 2, lateral side, both arms were working at the same time. We can also go to a unilateral press where we're doing 1 at a time. We could also then go to a seesaw press where we're working the 2 moving in opposition. So we're going to do a couple of each of those. So why don't you grab a dumbbell and go ahead and press that thing up for me, Janelle. And we'll leave the feet on the ground this time. And what I'd like you to do is bring your left hand across to your right armpit, to the front of the armpit. And what Janelle is trying to do is feel the pec muscle and tendon right through here. And go for 4 presses on this right side, keeping that pec tendon feeling kind of tight. And if you lose that tension in the pec tendon, you're actually better off going even shorter on your range of motion, or maybe going lighter, because we really do want that muscle to do most of the work. Great. And then, because I want to be nice, go ahead and balance that out. go for 4 on the left side. And don't be surprised too if your left and right side don't work evenly. Incredibly common. So why would we do the unilateral version of this? Well, this is actually the big reason, is because it gives us an opportunity to use the opposite hand to palpate and get another degree of proprioception to see, is the pec doing what it should be doing, which it should be engaging and resisting the pull of gravity on the way down and doing most of the work firing to contract to send the dumbbell up to the sky on the concentric. Great. And then 2 dumbbells for me. Last version of this one. I do believe that Janelle's pecs are going to be a little sore tomorrow. So here we're going to go alternating, right? So she's going to bring them both up. She'll bring one down, and then as that one goes back up, the other one will go down. So this is our seesaw version here. So it's a good version only once we know that we can keep the pec engaged, because it gets a little bit more complex. But these seesaw presses are going to change the way that your brain is thinking and firing going through the presses. It also is a good way to make light weights heavy. Go ahead and rest. Thanks guys. I don't know, 9 or 12 variations of presses that you can play with. Feet down, feet dead bug, feet hollow hold, 2 at a time, but alternating, 1 at a time. 9 options for you. Have fun. Thanks. Those are our floor presses.